like to just spend a few minutes talking about my gentle sense of what the possibility is, of how I start to get a sense of what this high bar is, of what this chapter is pointing to. This part, for first, by the force of your devotion, your contact with the Divine Mother will become so intimate that at times you will have only to concentrate and to put everything in her hands, to have her present guidance, her direct command or impulse, the sure indication of the thing to be done and the way to do it and the result. I'm beginning to learn that this is available, that this guidance from the Mother is available to guide us in all instances about what needs to be done. The hardest part for me is to remember to ask for that guidance. But when I do, when I sincerely ask, there's always a response. And it's not often what I would like to do or would be inclined to do. But if I'm willing to listen, there will be an answer. And that for me feels like a whole new way forward, is to just remember to ask what do you want to be done here? And often the answer comes nothing. That's also surprising, being someone who was very oriented towards action and getting things done. When the answer comes nothing, hold. Learning to trust that. I used to manage my work. All the emails I would get, I had this rule where I would respond to every single email by the end of the day. I called it inbox zero. So I'd like get rid of everything. But I've started to learn that that's not actually the best way, that there are things that are just better to be left. There are things that aren't mine. There are things that aren't for me. So asking for this indication always of like, do I have a role here? Is there something for me to do? This chapter talks about no demand for the fruit, no seeking of reward. When I can really work from a place of offering myself to whatever it is, if it's new dharma or being with my family or meeting with anyone, if I can really just offer myself with no outcome expected, no need for a reward, and that's when the most beauty happens. That's when miracles happen. And there's a lot to let go to have that happen. What else can I say about this? It's the whole path right there. It's just so I don't live this freedom, but I get glimpses of what it would be like to be able to live from this place. And this, the Mother Book says, this step carries you back beyond the borderline from the life of stress and suffering in the ignorance into the truth of your spiritual being, into its deep peace and its intense ananda. So carried back from the life of stress and suffering where what I'm doing is to have an outcome or to be received a certain way, to get something done, is a huge stress that takes the joy out of life. And to live in a different way, to live guided by the impulse of the Mother, removes all of that stress, removes all of that existential angst about how I'm doing or what I'm doing or what the outcome is. And it's something I deeply long for, having known the other extremes so intimately. So we'll play clip 5, please. Finished.
But when we offer up all that we do, we let go of any particular outcome, we take whatever is before us and use this as the ordeal or the opportunity or the possibility for us to explore and expand and eventually to be free of the limitation of saying that was it. It's an endless living in devotion, living in love and truth, in the recognition of the sacredness of what we are and the purpose and the responsibility that comes when that sacredness grows in its full authority. So you first live for divine. And in time, you'll notice that divine is always with you. That no matter what you do, it's not the outcome, because all it is the action, is the doing. In this dimension, that's the manifestation. When we organize our actions in the doing, then you'll notice that the sacred is with you in those actions. The devotion is what arises in you and what arises in the people around you. You become a source of devotion. You become the object of sacrificing. And you don't take it personally. You just recognize it's just devotion growing, purpose growing, truth growing, love growing. And then there comes a time, like this 12th chapter, but it's the next one that lies in the future, where you live as divine, as the sacredness, as the Supreme Being.
So I feel this presentation, it gives me an opportunity to express this longing to fully know what this chapter points to live it, to embody it. And it gives me a sense too of what would be created, if we were all acting from this place. A world that would be created in divine's image, from divine's love. That's all. Thank you.